Hey, what's going on? Dr. Dave again. I wanted to give you this lesson because this lesson that I'm about to teach you was the absolute number one thing that really truly changed my mindset about health, about well-being, about what it takes to be healthy, and then ultimately allowed me to get the results because now I knew exactly what the work was. I really knew what I needed to do to get out of pain. If you saw my initial video that I sent out, you'll realize that I had this intense debilitating low back pain for years, and I was getting all this information from so many different people. I just didn't know where to go, and I didn't know what to do, and it was actually very disheartening. I was almost like hopeless in a moment because I didn't know where to go. And so what I wanted to do was go on my own personal journey and really understand what is health, what is healing. And if I understood those things, then I could do the work because, I'm a worker. I want to do the work necessary. And we all do, but if we don't know what truly is the definition of what we're going after, then we can't actually do the right thing. And so that's what I want to do with you today. I want to go over this lesson that really changed the course and direction of my life for the better because now that I know this information, not only can I give it to you, but I can live with vitality and health and the amazingness that comes with that. And so here's the fundamental basis. The number one thing that is really causing people to get injured and sick, and why in America we have the 37th best healthcare system, which is, if you think about it, is outrageous that we have so little health in America. And yes, there are healthy people out there, but why are we so sick as a nation, as a country? It's because we have the wrong definition of health. And if you have the wrong definition of anything, then you're going to you're going to take action in the wrong direction. You're not going to do the right things, which is ultimately going to lead you into the wrong area, wrong path, and then you're going to get a result that you're not looking for. And so what we in America have done is we've created this management system of dis-ease. We'll get into dis-ease. We'll wait till we have symptoms or signs of disorder, of pain or symptom, and then we'll manage it from that level. And so many people are walking around with chronic disease. If you think about how long you've had pain in your body before you even reached out to either myself or a body worker, a lot of people think, well, I thought pain was just normal. I thought it was just part of it. It's like, it's not part of it. You don't have to always be in pain. That is absolutely not just a normal part of living. The natural state of our body, of our mind, of our spirit is wellness. We are a well individual. That is the natural state. And when you're out of balance, when you're dysfunctional, that's when you're going to get into dis-ease or disorder. So the number one thing that I want you to understand is that health is simply a matter of function. And that is super important. I'm going to say that again. Health is a matter of function. When your body is functioning as a whole entity, as a whole system, you will be healthy. And such that you are dysfunctional in any one area, that's when you're going to start to incur the small breakdown, the small dis-ease over time, which then builds itself up, which then creates things like pain or symptom or disorder, or we get into these pathologies. And it's so simple to bring you back into function. Because once you're in function, your body's natural state is well-being. And so it wants to be well. And so it will do what it needs to do to be well. Just like when you cut your skin on something, or you cut your finger, you don't have to do anything to make it heal. It'll just heal by itself. Your body has this innate ability to heal itself. You just have to give it the environment to do so. And you know this to be true. Even in nutrition, we talk about this all the time. If you have the right nutrients in your body will heal. You might have noticed when you eat a certain way, maybe you'll eat salads for a few days. You'll go on a diet and you'll say, okay, I'm going to eat salads for lunch, and you're going to eat salads instead of maybe a cheeseburger, and you start feeling good. You start feeling better. Well, it's because you've given your body the environment it needed to heal, and now it's able to heal, and now it's able to function the way it should, and so thus you experience wellness. That's exactly what I want you to understand. You see, health is not a matter of lack of symptom. When we are in lack of symptom, that doesn't mean that we're actually healthy. It just means that we don't have a dis-ease in that moment. We aren't experiencing the dis-ease in that moment. But health is really truly a matter of function. Now, what causes function? Well, again, we kind of talked about it's the ability for energies to move through your body. Function, truly at the end of the day, is simply the ability for energies to move through your body. So when you get energy into your nose and your mouth and you bring it into your lungs and you breathe that air in, that's energy. When you stand out in the sun, that's energy. When you eat a salad, that's energy. Now, if you stop that energy from moving, let's say you breathe in and you hold and you don't exhale, well, you're not doing anything. There's no exchange. So your body's ability to exchange that energy is the matter of function that we need. So when we are able to move and express and go through these energy systems, that's a good thing. Now, you might have heard, in the Eastern philosophy, when there's a block of energy, of these energy channels, and then you have these pathologies. Well, they are onto something, and a lot of people think it's sort of this woo-woo science, but it's not woo-woo at all. In fact, it is truth. Health is just the natural state of well-being, or the natural state of our body. And so our job as individuals is just to make sure that energy is moving through our system. So the simplest things like breath, like movement, like yoga, like just getting out in nature, like standing in the sun, like seeing a chiropractor, allows for the movement of this energy. These simple activities allow us both to imbibe or bring energy in and expel energy out. So as we work together, you're going to hear me say things like working in and working out. And working out, we know to be true. We know that that's okay. Working out is, okay, I'm going to go out into the gym and I'm going to push some weight, or I'm going to do yoga, or I'm going to do a run. That's working out. But we also have to start working in. And once you balance those two things, those energy systems, then good things will happen. Now, where does chiropractic fall into this? And this is really important. And this is the one thing that no one taught me when I was going through my back pain. But what I realized is when I actually started working with a chiropractor, this was the game changer for me, because I started realizing this is it. So here's what I want to do. I'm gonna grab my spine really quick. So I'm gonna reach over here really quick. I'm gonna grab my spine. So one thing that I want you to think about is your body is housed around your spine. Now, your spine is the most important aspect of your entire being. And why? Well, because it's the hard, dense tissue that supports both the structure and the function of your nervous system. You figure the top of your skull here, your brain sits up here. Your brain really is who you are. Now, of course, you have this body, which then allows you to move around the world and do the things you want to do. But the seat of our consciousness, the thing that creates us, that is us, is really our brain. If you took your brain out, well, then what? Well, you wouldn't be there, right? We know we don't live in our body, but we need our body in order to locomote, in order to move around, in order to find food and shelter and water and all the things that are fun. But we also love our body because our body is a temple. So our body has to be able to function at full capacity in order for our brain to function, in order for our body to function. And so they're constantly in synergy of each other, right? So where chiropractic comes in is that we are absolutely interested in, and we know that the link between both body and mind lives in the spine. And here's what I mean. In each layer, in each area of your spine, you have these little joints, and I'll kind of get closer if you can see these. You have these little joints that are just on the outside of these nerve roots. So these nerve roots are like these little wires, right? These little wires are really important because that is your nervous system. It is the thing that causes you. It's the thing that moves the energy from your brain into every cell, tissue, and organ in your body. Again, these are super important. You know that if you sever your spine at any one level, everything below that goes numb. Instantly, you become paralyzed below that. We know that that's true. Now, is there a dimmer switch, right? So if maybe if we don't get it just chopped off, could it be interfered with? And the answer is yes. That interference happens at a natural level. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what is this interference you're talking about? Well, such that your nerve root is not functioning, is not sending information from the nerve root, from the brain, down the spinal cord, out the nerve root into, let's say, a muscle. Well, if you're interfered with that system, just like a telephone wire, you're getting a lost connection, or a light bulb, right? Like a light bulb doesn't function without the electricity to it. So if there's interference in the wiring system, you're not going to get the function of that end organ. Could be the pancreas, could be the liver, could be the bicep, could be the tricep. So if you're, for instance, have shoulder injury and you're doing overhead press and you notice one side is just like, oh man, it's like just giving out before the other side. Well, it's because there's a nervous system issue, right? So we as chiropractors know that we are very interested in these joints right here, because anytime these joints get compressed, what happens is that inflammation around the compression creates interference on those nerve roots. And thus, that's going to interfere with the nervous system flow from here down into the end organ, let's say your bicep. And why that's super important is because anytime you have interference, now you have a loss of function. And when you have a loss of function, what do you have? Now you have a loss of health. Now you have a drop in well-being. And so why we're so interested, why chiropractors are so interested in the spine, is because we understand this is the link. This spine is the link between mind and body. And you have to be able to maintain this thing called your spine. Now, when does your spine have these interferences, have these dysfunctions? The term you'll hear me use often is either a subluxation or a fixation. When does this occur? Well, this occurs all the time. It occurs when you're dehydrated. It occurs when you're sitting at a desk all day and you're hunched over. It occurs when you're not doing the things that you should be doing to maintain your spine. It just occurs because gravity goes this way. This is an important concept, and a lot of people think, well, that's silly. Like it just happens all the time. Like why even fight it? Why, it's sort of like saying like, well, you're gonna run out of oxygen every 3 minutes. Why even breathe? It's kind of that same idea, or your tires are gonna get bald. Why even maintain your tires? Or your car is gonna, run out of oil. Why even maintain that? Kind of the same idea. This is just part of the concept, the wholeness of your well-being plan. Having a chiropractor, going to a chiropractor, using chiropractic, which helps maintain your spine, takes pressure off the nerve roots, allows your body, your mind body to function, for that energy to flow, now allows you to optimize your function, thus giving you the well-being and health that you are seeking. And so when to do that? Well, that's going to be up to you. How often do you feel compressed? How often do you feel like everything is tight? What is your mindset like? How old are you? These are all things that you need to start considering when thinking about creating a plan for your spine and your spinal wellness. And again, you got to think about this thing, because this is the missing link to ultimate well-being that just most people don't know about. And it took me years to figure out, to finally go to a chiropractor and say, oh gosh, this was what I was missing, because I had a compressed nerve root in my lower back, which then was causing the stability muscles around my spine to overcompensate, which then was creating more just breakdown on that area. And then I just started getting tissue tear. And that's when something really bad happened. And I don't want that for you. You see, you don't even realize this, but you can actually push off or even eliminate catastrophic injury, because once your spine, once that energy is flowing, your body doesn't have to compensate, and now your body knows exactly what it needs to do. Again, your body innately, the state of your body innately is well-being. And if you're not living at well-being, then you're simply just not doing the right actions. And what are the right actions? Well, it's doing something that increases function for your body. And how do you know if it's increasing function? Well, are you optimizing for the flow, for the movement of energy, both in, out, and through your body? That's it. That's the magic key. Just optimize for the flow of energy into, through, and out your body, and you will be healthy. And so what are the things that you're going to notice? You're going to do things like breathe. You're going to do things like meditate. You're going to do things like move your body. You're going to do things like write down on a journal, why are you grateful? Because it creates energy through your body. You're going to go to a chiropractor, you're going to work out, you're going to sleep, you're going to jump into cold water. These are things that are naturally allowing for the flow of energy both into, through, and out your body. If you do that, you will optimize for the flow of energy, thus optimizing for the function, thus optimizing for health, healing, and well-being. And that, my friends, is exactly what I had to learn the hard way. And I'm so glad you even watched this 10-minute video or however long this video is, so that now you understand exactly what well-being and what health really is, what it takes, and ultimately what you can do to optimize it for yourself so you can get the results you're looking for to get out of pain, stay out of pain, but ultimately to optimize for function and be a well human. That's what we all want. We all just want to be well. We just don't know what it takes. We were told something incorrectly, and society told us something wrong, and it's okay. You just didn't, you never heard it this way before, and that's completely fine. That's totally normal. And so what I want to do is invite you now into a completely different paradigm and a different mindset about, okay, now that I understand what this is, what actions am I going to take? So this is what I want you to think about. You know exactly what health truly is. I'm going to do another video. I'm going to send it out to you. And in that video, I'm going to go through just a simple process, a simple protocol that you can do each day that will increase the opportunity for you to both imbibe energy, allow energy to go through you, and allow it to work through into a now vital state. And so it's such a simple process. It's simple habits that you can do every day that you can ultimately get the energy in, through, and out so that you can allow for the optimal flow, ultimately giving you the function, ultimately giving you the well-being that you're looking for. So look for that video. I'll send it out to you, and I'll see you in the Body Lab.